Let's all be honest, there is a lot of vehicles in War Tycoon and it's really hard to decide which one is the best out of all of them. So in today's video, guys, I will be helping you make a decision on which vehicle you should use in terms of firepower, in terms of versatility, and all this stuff. And I will be including, again, the most annoying vehicles, which I have said in the recent videos. Yes, I will be including Little Bird in today's list, unfortunately, because it is solely this OP. But yeah, in today's video, I'll be going through everything I can possibly get for you guys to find your most favorite vehicle out of all. Anyway, let's just jump right into it. Alright, so moving right into number 5 position, today I will be commentating over gameplay I'm gonna be doing. I'm not really gonna be killing any people and etc, but I will be showcasing you guys, of course, every vehicle by just going into the game. Anyway, the number 5 position, in fact, is going to be taken by the T90 Tank, which I'm gonna be going through both planes and vehicles and helicopters, like everything I can possibly find. But here it is. This is our T90 Tank. The reason why I rank this tank as the number 5 of the best vehicles in the game is, first of, it has excellent health, which is going to be exactly the same as the Abrams X, which is exactly 1.7k. It has excellent firepower, and what's the most important about this tank is the fact is, look how fast the tank shells will actually be able to reload after you guys shoot them. That is actually a pretty fast time, if I'm gonna be completely honest, and it doesn't fall off of its machine gun as well. However, another very important feature about the T90 Tank is the feature that people love to use it for is actual missile deflection. Basically, I'm gonna explain you guys the way that the missile deflection actually will work. So you guys would have to, let's say, face your cannon forward. So the way that you are facing with your cannon will be the missile disruptors, which I'm showing you guys right here on the screen. And let's say if somebody is going to try to use a missile on you, it will automatically get deflected. I cannot really show you guys much because there isn't another person that's going to be helping me in this video. Today's video is completely solo done. However, this is really good for disrupting, of course, Bradley missiles. If you guys are facing the Bradley, it's also good for disrupting plane missiles if they are just firing them at you. Even javelins, if you guys look high enough in the air before it is about to hit you, because roughly the area where the javelin likes to hit is either going to be fully the back here or it's going to be around in the middle of the tank. Anyways, moving right into the next one, it's going to be the number 4 position of the best vehicles in War Tycoon. What I present to you guys here, oh, it's not even gonna load in. Is it actually gonna load in? Come on, game. Okay, I don't know why it's not loading in. Maybe my intro is just super bad. But so here it is. It actually loaded in. I present to you guys the Bradley. This isn't actually a tank if we get very technical. However, it isn't part of the tanks in War Tycoon, so I guess I'm just gonna have to be calling it a tank. The most important information about the Bradley is probably the fact that its missiles are absolutely powerful. If you guys can use 2 of them efficiently, or tanks and ground vehicles, then you guys will pretty much be able to shred their whole entire health. I do not know why my intro is so bad right now, but I apologize for this. Basically, they are wire-guided missiles, and they in fact can even one-shot planes, much like the tank missiles. And it is actually not tank missiles, I meant tank shells. And one funny thing about the Bradley is the fact that it is way easier to aim them than actually aiming the tank shell. So that's also another tip which I have for you guys. This is good for destroying stuff like helicopters and etc. However, it doesn't fall off with its second part of the firepower, which is going to be the explosive gun. It's not actually a machine gun, it is just the explosive gun, which I guess I'm gonna be calling it. And fun fact about this is, if you guys do manage to land both of your missile shots, let's say against a tank, and then you finish them off with this gun, you guys can really kill any tank with this game. Even this tank is actually used for countering the Abrams X, which, by the way, even its machine gun is somewhat useful for killing something like the infantry. Let's say if you guys do run out of the explosive machine gun, or explosive gun as we call it. But personally, I suggest you guys to just stick between the explosive gun and stick between the wire-guided missiles. And if you have to use this machine gun, then it's really just a last resort, if I'm gonna be completely honest. It also has a smoke screen. However, one downside to this tank, I guess we can say, is the fact that it doesn't have a lot of health. So if you guys are gonna be using it, you have to be very careful. However, its firepower, I believe it could even be greater than the Abrams X. So the number 3 position is going to be taken by, once again, another tanks. Yes, the tanks do be dominating War Tycoon, but we all already know this. It is going to be the T14 Armata. So let's spawn it in and show you guys exactly what it does. The T14, in my opinion, is probably the second best tank in War Tycoon right now. And the reason why I say this is because of its very high health and firepower. So the actual gun of it, which is going to be the cannon shot, is going to be incredibly strong. I believe it's pretty much as strong as something like the T90 and etc. And its machine gun is exactly the same, or not even machine gun, its actual gun is going to be exactly the same as the Bradley. However, it does shoot faster than the Bradley, but it runs out of ammo a little bit quicker. And this actual gun is going to be doing incredible amount of damage. If you guys can actually, let's even test it against the shield. It is, I'm of course going to be using the 2x shield. It seems to be shredding the shield pretty fast. And again, if I was to be using a normal shield, then that would be shredded even quicker. I believe the normal gun of this has been nerfed, however, it is still incredibly powerful. And fun fact, this tank has the second strongest amount of health in the whole entire game, standing at around 1,800 health. And if I want to be honest, that is a lot of health to actually be able to tank a lot of things in the game. It does in fact have higher health than the Abrams X, which is currently of course standing at around 1,700. Again, this tank is very good for killing stuff in the sky because its turning speed is pretty good. And also another thing which I suggest you guys is if you are fighting people with this tank, I suggest you guys to be trying to dodge their cannon shells before you go into any encounter, because funny thing about this tank is that it has one of the slowest reloads with its cannon shell in the whole entire game, so you guys would have to be a little bit careful. But anyway, this vehicle has excellent firepower, and that's the reason I'm gonna be ranking it as a number 3 spot. So anyway, let's actually jump into the number 2 spot, which is, I am very much hating to say this, however, the second spot on this list is going to be taken by the most stupid vehicle in this whole entire game, which we all actually hate. Let's be honest, it is going to be the Little Bird. And some of you might be confused, and I'll explain it to you guys, but most of you guys definitely know where I'm heading right here. The Little Bird, at the current moment, is the smallest helicopter in the whole entire game. While using of course the dark skin makes it absolutely impossible to hit it at night. However, already the fact that it's almost impossible to be able to hit it just because of how small it is also another problem in this game, which I have made a video why this vehicle is so OP and why the Little Bird should be nerfed and etc. It also doesn't disappoint with its actual gun with the firepower. This is going to be a machine gun, and guys, just have a look on how long this machine gun is going to be able to last you for. Just look how fast I'm shooting until I am actually needed to reload. It is a little bit smaller than the Hind, however, this machine gun does excellent damage if you guys manage to hit a lot of your shots. The Little Bird is almost impossible to be hit in the sky. It also has some very toxic strategies, such as of course doing this, and then basically pressing G, and then you guys start going lower, so pretty much nobody can even lock onto you. Even if they do, then all of their shots will be wasted. This is a very toxic strategy. Most people are probably gonna hate for me saying this, but the Little Bird is pretty much almost impossible to counter, even if you guys are using stuff like the Panzer or the anti-air truck. If the Little Bird can even outrun you, in fact, by just literally using the flares. And again, it's way too small, it's very hard to hit, and it's also amazing for killing infantry because the Hydro rockets are currently the best rockets in the game in terms of being able to do area damage. It's just so easy to take out people on infantry. So really, this is a starter helicopter, and I hate to say this, it is currently the best helicopter in the game and the second best vehicle in War Tycoon. And now we are back with the number 1 spot, and you guys might find this weird because I haven't mentioned any likes of the Abrams X and F45, and that's only for one reason, because I'm gonna be ranking them both as the number 1 spot, and I'll be explaining you guys why that is in just a second. The Abrams X pretty much is the best tank in War Tycoon, however, it is not even that much far off of the other tanks which I have mentioned on the list. The Abrams X currently possesses 1,700 health, which is a very high amount. It is very high in agility and speed tank. Its cannon shell is currently the second strongest in damage in the game. Its explosive machine gun is also not even it's really good. However, something like the T14 Armata does have a gun a little bit stronger, but again, having a machine gun and an explosive machine gun is good to have at the same time, though I think if it would be split out, that would also be cool. Anyway, the one last thing is the Javelin, allowing the Abrams X to see where its opponents are all at the same time, which is also very amazing if we're going into encounter, because you guys will be able to know where every single ground vehicle is, unless they are of course using the the smoke, of course. Another thing which I would like to mention is that it has probably the best turning speed of any cannon in the whole entire game. As you guys can see how fast I am actually able to turn with this. It is absolutely insane with how fast the Abrams X actually turns its cannon, and it's really good for shooting stuff out of the sky if you guys actually got really good aim, which I have shown you guys a few clips in my previous videos. I do love to be using Abrams X for anti-air. Anyway, many people say that the F45 is better than the Abrams X. However, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I actually do disagree, and I think they are both equals because they both dominate their, of course, specific and respected areas, such as Abrams X dominates the ground vehicles, and the F45 dominates the air, which I'll be getting into in just a second. And by the way, the reason why I say the Abrams X is on the same page as, of course, the F45 is solely because of the fact that the Abrams X can and very easily shoot the F45 out of the sky, and every F45 is able to also compete with that because it is able to, in fact, be able to tank a tank shell, because I believe it has 1200 health in this game. And also another fun fact is I'm gonna be now getting into all of its firepower and armament, and I'm gonna be honest, the thing I love about the F45 is solely the fact that you guys could go into the veto mode and then just drop bombs on somebody's head. That is probably the most fun thing about the F45. However, its firepower also does not fall off because it's a normal gun, it's explosive, and it also is lasting a pretty long time. It destroys armor, so it basically has armor penetration. With this, it can lock onto both helicopters and even up to being able to lock on our tanks and planes, and pretty much it can lock onto everything in the whole entire game, which is also absolutely great. However, the reason why I say the F45 isn't better than the Abrams X, and the Abrams X isn't better than the F35, because the Abrams X can simply smoke the missiles of the F45, allowing it an easy way out. The Abrams X also has a lot better terrain adaptation, which also allows the Abrams X to know where every vehicle is, because of course tanks are really good in adapting in the environment solely because of their skins that I can use, and the F45 of course would sometimes not even be able to lock onto the Abrams X, simply because the Abrams X can use the smoke and then it will be able to simply shoot the F45 down with its cannon shell. However, again, the F45 does have the ability to tank that cannon shell, so in such a specific situation the F45 could survive the Abrams X, but again, the explosive machine gun could finish it off, but the F45 also has enough time to run away and get into a safe airspace, I guess we can say. So yeah, those are my number one positions. Let me know in the comment section down below, guys, what you actually thought was the best vehicle in War Tycoon. Personally, I just cannot decide which one is better. As the first, I believe both the F45 and the Abrams X are respectively the best vehicles in War Tycoon. However, the Abrams X isn't too far off of our tanks, such as of course the Bradley T14 and all this stuff. But again, the Little Bird is also a problem for both of the Abrams X and the F45. But if you guys are really good with both of these, then you can definitely find strategies around it. Anyway, guys, this is all I have for you all in today's video. I will soon be releasing some information based on the Discord server and channel memberships, which I have promised you guys. And by the way, fun fact, I will be releasing the channel memberships before the Discord server, because the Discord server actually has a lot to do with the channel memberships, because the channel members will be able to get a lot of specific perks in the Discord as well. Anyway, I'll get into that in probably another video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below whichever top 5/top 10 video you would like to see next. Anyway, that is all I have for you guys in today's video. Have a great rest of your day.